playing against Manga. Okay. Looks like we may have a King's Indian, perhaps. 30-20, yeah, I like long games, man. What can I say? So will it be a King's Indian or a Grunfeld? Or some other thing that I don't know? King's Indian, it looks like. Don't worry, I'll probably lose quickly. Alright, mainline King's Indian, I'm happy. Although I'm 0 for 2 as white in the King's Indian this stream. So maybe I shouldn't be happy. Come on, play the main line. That's not the main line. I'm tempted to say that's just a bad move, but I don't know all the theory, so probably shouldn't make that claim. Bishop e3 makes a lot of sense. Just overprotect that pawn. Develop the bishop. A lot of times the bishop can't really go to e3 because knight g4 is a threat, but now his bishop's there, so it's not a threat so much. I guess he could take and then play knight g4, but then I've got the bishop here. So yeah, and then my bishop is on a dangerous diagonal, so I think that's fine. I could also just castle. I don't want to play h3, I don't think. But, I mean, it's probably not the worst move. So bishop e3 or castle. Probably just castle is actually better, but I'll just castle. Who needs theory? Not I. Actually, I play much better when I know some theory I found, so shocking as that is. So you've been playing knight f3 before c4 because it eliminates e5 and d5. Interesting. d4, knight f6, knight f3, b5. What? What is that? e4, knight f6, f3, b5. I don't understand that second line. Don't cry, wolf. I'm not sure I understand why. Okay, knight f3 makes sense that it stops e5, right? Okay. Well, anyway, I don't really know this King's Indian setup, but I think bishop e3 is going to be the move. Defend this pawn some more. He's ready to sort of take, boom, and then maybe there's some issue here. So I think just develop and defend looks like a solid plan to me. Fianchetto the bishop. Stops any c4 nonsense. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I guess my question would be, I mean, d4, knight f6, knight f3. My feeling is that the players who are doing that, I mean, you're saying you do it for a King's Indian, I guess. But to me, that feels like more of a London line, or like you're going to go into the Kali or the Tory, I don't know those, but, you know, one of those systems. Okay, Bobby, have a good one. See you next time, man. Good game. So, if White's going to play a London, does he really mind b5 so much? Because one of Black's plans in the London, I thought, was to play queen b6 and try to put pressure on the b2 pawn. But now if your pawn's on b5, you can't really do that. But I don't know, I'm making stuff up, so. Okay, knight b7. I'd like to move my rook off A1. The C file doesn't seem super likely to open. So I could do like queen C2 and then rook A D1 or something. That would be a good square. Maybe queen B3, hit that pawn. Not really a threat, so I guess if I take it, he can just play rook B8. Well, maybe I still get a pawn there. So, I mean, the problem with queen B3 is it doesn't defend the E2 bishop anymore, which I think I would like to have. So, and queen C2 overprotects E4, which is kind of nice. Although on C2, I mean, he might want to play C takes D4 and rook C8. So maybe queen B3 is better. Queen B3 he also has the option of C takes D4 and then knight C5. So maybe neither of these plans are any good. I guess there's queen A4. That's getting a little far out there. If all of my problems are arising from C takes D4, maybe D takes C5. But then he takes with a knight, and he's got a threat. What, E4? I'm thinking queen C2 is still my move, but it just has that slight downside. H3 is also on the table, right? I mean, actually it should be... Yeah, he's blocked his bishop's retreat with knight bd7, so I should really give H3 some thought. H3, he has to take my knight. Every other move, the bishop gets trapped. That's quite nice, actually. So let's play H3. Knight f3 is interesting because now Grunfelds and any e5 gambits have lost their edge. Has a Grunfeld lost its edge? I mean, I believe you. I'm just trying to conceptualize that. Also, I'm playing those moves out in my head, which I'm not the greatest at. Because I thought in a Grunfeld you don't want your knight on f3. Because they can pin it. I could transpose to any Fianchetto Catalans. Yeah, I mean, maybe I probably should learn more d4 lines. Like, I really just sort of play what I play. Like, I don't play the London, I don't play the Catalan, I don't play any of the, like, D4 systems that people like, but maybe I should learn them just to learn some, like, move order stuff, and, you know, and... I sort of see the appeal of playing really flexibly early on and then sort of steering the position in different ways depending on what black does. Right, yeah. Okay, so I've gotten some advantage here. I've got the two bishops. Okay, he takes there. Definitely want to take with my bishop, I think. Maybe queen takes is playable, but it seems like I just let him move his knight for free. So let's do that. And now, maybe queen e2 is a good square to develop the queen. It's possible the knight would want to maneuver on e2, so that's one downside. Yeah, I mean, I totally respect that strategy, Wolf. That's not something that I've really done myself. I usually just play what I want to play. Okay, well, he's not threatening b5. Because I've got a little tactic there. And even if I didn't, it would just lose a pawn. So, queen e2. I'm just a little worried the knight's going to want to pivot there at some point. And maybe the bishop wants to come to e2. Because what else is that bishop doing? I guess it's okay on f3. It's just a little awkward, but I don't know, I think it's okay. Queen b3 still an option, but now knight c5 just directly. Queen c2 feels like it just plays into his hands. I guess I'm gonna play queen e2. It's just a funny move. Maybe rook c1 should be played. I mean, where's the other rook going? Like, it seems I should have one rook on d1. But where's the other one going? Probably c1, right? So I could just play rook c1 directly, and then there's never tricks on the diagonal. And it gives me another move. See what he's gonna do. Decide where I want my queen. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think the psychological side of chess is sort of underrated. And even by myself, probably it's underrated. But people forget that, you know, I think most people have this conception of chess as like, I need to play the best move in as many positions as I can. And that's fine. I mean, obviously that's a good way to win a game. If you play the computer's best move every move, you're gonna win. But that doesn't mean that's the only way to play. You can play creatively, you can play psychologically, like you're saying. I mean, realistically, you know, there's might be 20, 30 legal moves in any position. And we think of one move as the best, and then there are some moves that are okay, and then all the other moves aren't any good. But in actual fact, some subset of those moves are a forced win, some subset are a forced draw, and some subset are a forced loss. And within those three buckets, they're all equivalent. So, if the position's just drawn, then play whatever move gives you the best chance to make it not a draw. Or just resign on move one, like Mangaes84 says. That's also possible. Really, that happened to you a lot? I never played in school or on a team or anything, so I don't know if that's actually like a common thing that happens. Okay, he's having a bit of a think here. I mean, it's not an easy position for him. What are the plans? I mean, I guess I would play rook c8 if I were him. And if that happens, maybe I play b3. Maybe I play queen e2. Maybe I mean, once the rook's not on that diagonal, my bishop on f3 doesn't make so much sense. That's perhaps something that I can say about, like, queen d2, is that maybe the bishop can actually reroute, like, to this diagonal, or over here. Because the bishop's not doing much here. It's hard to envision the bishop doing much on these diagonals. So maybe if I get the queen out of the way, the bishop can sort of maneuver over to the queen side and try to affect the king side more. It's back to chess, Indo Queen! Yay! I'm going back to my roots. Ah, you're going for a run? I'll probably be here when you get back. Probably. I might be playing Go, though, when you get back. Who knows? It's anybody's guess. So I guess if this idea is to work, I probably need b4 in. Which means this c4 pawn's gonna be weak. So maybe it doesn't work right away, but maybe it's just a thought for later. And there's rook c8 right on schedule. I guess I'm gonna play Queen d2. I'm not in love with it, but that just seems like the most natural developing move. Wait, this pawn's hanging at the moment, so let's not lose sight of that. B3 feels pretty lame, but maybe it's all right. Alright, I'll play b3. That pawn was potentially a target for the bishops, and now it's not. So, 8-bit stream, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, Wolf. I'd love to beat a 2400 FM once. Any Go being streamed today? I streamed Go earlier, and it's possible I'll go back to Go. So yeah, we'll see. What's up, Marinda? Chess question, is the Vienna opening somehow special or notable? I don't know much about it, to be honest. I don't think that it has some, like, big reputation. I know that White has a few different plans, and I know that one of them can lead to a pretty boring position, and one of them can lead to a relatively tactical position. But I don't really remember which is which. 17Q, Coolio. 17Q. But yeah, I mean, I think the Vienna is considered, like, a perfectly sound opening. There's a thing which makes a huge chess analogy and it references the Vienna, okay. Yeah, it might just be for the name. in my experience, a lot of times when like a TV show or a movie or a book or something makes a chess reference, it doesn't usually make any sense from like a chess player's point of view. Yeah, a lot of streamers like to do blitz and bullet, and to be fair, that probably gets more viewers, but I like to take my time. Yeah, the reference is usually unsound. Sometimes they get posted on Reddit, and it's pretty funny. Like, there was one, I remember that was like a comic book, I think it was like a Batman or an X-Men comic or something, but it was like, every single thing that they said made absolutely no sense. Like, it just didn't logically follow. Yeah, so that's the good square for the night. I guess I'm gonna play Queen D2. You gotta be careful with the E4 pawn, maybe, but... I could consider Queen E2 still, but... But I need to keep the bishop defended, or else there could be... like, knight F takes E4 tactics, so I think just Queen D2. Yeah, that's true, Miranda. Hollywood knows everything except on subjects you know about. Have I ever played Jim Plays Chess? I don't think so. I don't recognize that name. Okay, clearly white pawn to e5 is bad, because I would have done it already. Well, first off, that's faulty logic. Why is it bad? It might not be bad. It's probably not bad. I mean, in the previous position, it would have been fine, I think. I don't see a problem with it. I think it's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I want to be careful not to, like, this bishop needs to trade for this bishop, probably, if the diagonal ever starts to open. I don't hate it, I just don't really see what it accomplishes. Like, maybe, like, before this pawn was defended by the knight, it made sense. Okay, that's very interesting. Might be a good move. Okay, let's save my bishop. Yeah, I mean, you're right, it does free up the white bishop, which I like. The problem is there's just not much action on this diagonal anymore. But, I mean, it is sort of a tough pawn to, like, I'm kind of stuck defending this pawn. So sometimes when a pawn on your side is a liability, then it's just better to just trade it off. So, I mean, I kind of like the idea from that standpoint. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really gain a tempo because he could take my pawn, I take back, and then it's his move. But, I mean, it does... I mean, because it hits the knight, it is a forcing move, so it's something to consider. And I was actually looking at it earlier in the position, like, way back here. Because when he played a6, my thought was he wants to play b5. But I saw that if he plays b5, I can play e5 with tempo on the knight, and I'm also hitting the bishop. Although now, I'm wondering if he could take... I take the rook, he takes my bishop. So I don't know, maybe it didn't even work, but that was an idea there. Okay. He wants to drum up trouble on the diagonal, but I don't know. I don't know that the trouble is real. I'm thinking just rook fd1. Could also just try to trade off these bishops, but I don't really like playing that way. But maybe I should. The bishop I get left with is sort of lousy. Maybe I am gonna have to play e5 at some point, just to make this bishop do something. I mean, I could play it now and trade pawn for pawn. The problem is, opening this file is really risky. It's possible that b5 is the move he really wants to play. You know what? I should be considering this. That actually looks good, doesn't it? Because I'm threatening his queen. And if he plays queen takes queen, I've got knight e7 intermezzo. Yeah, that actually is probably just winning. That'd be my guess. Okay, and if he retreats the queen. So say he goes queen back to d8. I mean, obviously I'm still happy. But I've got possibilities of bishop b6, I've got knight b6. So I think it's the way to go. What else is there for him? I think he pretty much has to play queen d8 or he's just losing. And if that's the case, then it's a good move. Yeah, Coolio, it just takes time, right? I mean, anytime you pick up a new game, especially a game as complicated as Go or chess, it's just gonna take time. Like, yeah, Lichess's UI, like drawing out the arrows, is really useful. Tricky move with Rook FC8. Knight d5, Queen takes d2, Knight takes e6. Wait, what? Oh, you're saying if he had played Rook FC8 instead of Rook AC8? Okay. Well. This should just be winning. This pawn's gonna be super duper weak. It's still gonna be a long grind him out endgame, but I think I'm just gonna be winning. That is king's terrible in the corner. Still a long way to go. But definite advantage for white now. Probably a pretty big advantage. Bishop pair and up a pawn. I'm just looking to see if there's any fanciness with like bishop b4 or something. Like it's a rook and a pawn for 2 minors, but again, the bishop I'm left with is so lousy that I don't think it's worth doing. So I don't love the knight coming here, and then, but maybe I should love that. Pawn structure looks really nice. The minority attack looks like a pretty obvious and good idea for him, but I guess I'm gonna have to do this. And I mean, again, I could consider c takes, but it just feels wrong. I don't know. I mean, now the more I look at it, maybe c takes. Oh, c takes. Well, no. C takes could be the right move. That helps the light squared bishop quite a bit. Otherwise, my light squared bishop's terrible. C takes, I assume, knight c5, but knight c5 loses material. So c takes, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, then knight c5. The thing is, if I take with the E-pawn, I mean, it looks more natural, right? Because I get this nice connect 4 pawn chain. But he's got the B5 plan, which is like a perfectly obvious and, you know, good-looking minority attack. So that pawn chain's not even that great. And B, he can play F5, and my lightsword bishop has nothing to ever do, ever. So I think I've got to play C takes, and I'll try to maneuver my bishop and play F3, and then I've got a nice pawn chain there. I mean, F5 is still a minority attack, so it still is going to have sort of the same thing where I end up with hanging pawns in the center of the board, but my bishop will be active. Is that even true, though? C takes, after the smoke clears, he could play B5. My bishop's still shut out. But bishop G4 and F5 is harder to play. But I get that isolated pawn. Man. Bishop's kind of sucky no matter what I do. Okay, C takes knight. I think he has to play rook takes, right? Okay, he doesn't have to, but... Rook takes. Knight C5. I could even play like bishop b4. Give up the bishop pair for that pass pawn. Whereas if e takes, knight c5. It's not so mobile, right? Bishop b4 taken. Okay, the pawn's passed. The real question is he going to be able to attack e4 if I play c takes? I don't think he's going to be able to do it quickly enough. The flip side of this conversation is e takes. I get my rooks on the e file. This may be a really inconsequential decision. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I can't make up my mind. I'm going back and forth. Okay, I'm gonna play E-Takes. After all that conversation about how I was starting to like C-Takes. Yeah, blunder is like the worst kind of mistake you can make. Blunder means you've changed the results of the game, like, or what the results should be with perfect play. So generally in chess there's inaccuracies, which are like little mistakes, but probably not, you know, it's not changing a win to a draw or anything. You've got mistakes, which I would say is like, okay, it was equal and now the other side's better. But not winning, but just better. Or maybe they're winning, but there's still like some work to do. And a blunder is like, okay, it was even, and now it's just a win for the other side. Yeah, this is from Pokemon. Well, if you want to trade for that bishop, I think I'm thrilled. Don't love the pawn doubling that could happen. Rook c3 just seems really risky. Getting on the diagonal with the bishop. Yeah, like, well, yeah, I can't do rook. Even knight e2 check might be okay. Man, are we really gonna play bishop d1? Like, holy shit. Such a terrible move. I guess I'm gonna play it. I mean, I kind of want to play bishop g4 to provoke f5. Because my plan is when he plays f5, I'm going to try to play g4 and open things up for my bishop. I don't know if that's a good plan, but it would activate my bishop. I'm going to do it. I don't know. That might be really weird. Oh, but I'm not even provoking f4. You can just play h5. Alright, I'll just go back. h5, I don't think he minds. Does g4 still work on h5? No, not really. See, I thought about that Don't Cry Wolf, but then I thought, you know, I think I'd rather have the rooks on. Because really, when I'm up one pawn... So really, Black's the one, I think, who wants to be trading pieces. Wait, I had that completely backwards. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Black wants to be trading pawns, I want to trade pieces. Ugh. Yeah, so I definitely... Yeah, I think I should have played c-takes. Can I try to get the bishop in the game with like b4? Or is that crazy? Probably crazy. Let's put a little pressure. Yeah, unfortunately, I need a little help to dislodge that knight. Okay, well that's an extremely passive rook. And it can even be attacked with bishop g4 now. And maybe I can finally provoke f5. Maybe. Let's try it. All right, I got him to play f5. Yeah, that knight is a pain. I'd never even considered him plopping on d4 like that. I thought c5 was the destination. What's up, Powda? How's it going, man? I did play some Go already. It's possible I'll play more later, but we'll see. Oh my god, thank you so much. Oh. Thank you. Alright, so now this pawn is, you know, technically hanging. Is rook here a move? If he takes, then I win his bishop, so that's kind of nice. Looks like a good move to me. Does it matter which rook? No, it's gonna force a trade. Which rook? Which rook? Does it matter? I don't really see how it matters. But I guess this rook is the more passive currently. And if rook here, I think king f1. Yeah, I think he... I guess he didn't appreciate how bad my light squared bishop was. I think his only thought was, my opponent has the bishop pair, and that's bad. But yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, trading that knight for that bishop was not good for him. For a second, I was wondering, like, oh, does the A2 problem outweigh all that? But no, not even close. So king f1, trade all the rooks. It's still tough to win this. I mean, his bishop's gonna have to go fairly passive. I could also just take the rook and then win the pawn. That's probably better. Trade these pawns. And if he does that, then this rook can grab the open file, and I'm threatening check and win the bishop. I can play rook e3 to defend this pawn, and the path's clear for this pawn. So I think that's actually the way to go here. That's not what I was planning, but I think that's the winning plan. I gotta be careful with this pawn, perhaps. But after I take, the bishop can even come back here. Ooh, and then f5 maybe. So I'm looking at takes, bishop here, here, here. It's a little scary. So what about king f1 first? Oh, that doesn't really solve the problem, it just gives him the pawn for free. So, take here, possibly. I think it's still gonna be really tough for him. Like, even just rook here? Bishop takes check. I move the king. And this pawn's ready to roll. My rook's already behind it. I think that's gonna be fine. This probably should have been... Why didn't I go king f1? I just thought this was a cleaner win. I thought clearing the path for this pawn was the way to win. Yeah, now I get this nice open file. Okay, wait. Yeah, let's take the file. Let's take the file. Yeah, I thought king f1, all the rooks get traded, and then it just seemed like it was going to be kind of a tough... There was a long way to go. Oh, I forgot about bishop takes. Yeah, you may be right. Okay, it says he left the game. I'm gonna give him a little time. I'm gonna reload just to make sure there's not something wrong with on my end, but... Don't give him anything. Ditched, maybe. Did we just win... Bishop? No, not yet. Instead of rook, you want here c5. I never considered c5. c5, rook d2, c6. Oh, okay. Rook takes c5, c7. Yeah, oh, I like that line. I don't know if it's forced, but... But yeah, Marinda, I mean, you're right. This is the threat. That does win a bishop. And actually, it wins more than a bishop. Because, check, this is his only move, and then I take with the bishop. He can still go here, I guess, so never mind. I thought I was mating him, but he can play king g8 and run. Okay, he's back. Good, I don't like winning on having to claim a victory if they leave. I'm thinking if he does this now, maybe I just trade the bishops? And then just say, dude, this pawn's way too good. Way too good. I mean, this pawn should be such an asset. Or I could just say, dude, I don't care. I feel like there were a lot of ways to win. I'm just hoping I'm not overlooking something. Wow. Well, I think not moving his king up is a mistake. And now, as Wolf alluded to, it might be this pawn that runs. Might be. It's ready to go. The king's perfectly safe with the bishop guarding this diagonal. think I just 1, 2, 3, 4, and queen. I do have to be careful that I don't get mated. Perhaps this is the ultra safe way. Yeah, I mean, okay. Let's just not get mated. It's the only way I can lose is if I get mated. Just march the guy right now. This is what you don't like about chess, you only get good by being a better reader. Well, I guess that's mostly true. But, I mean, yeah, you gotta read. That's true in Go, too, I think. It's looking good. Oh yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the time, Marinda. Okay, well I got another pawn for you. I saw that move and I thought I was going to take, and now I realize it's a bad move. Pretty bad move, too. Okay, I guess that's the only move, really. Well, you're not even really threatening my bishop. I don't believe. But I see no reason to let you take it. Oh. Shit. Alright, well, I almost goofed this. I think I'm gonna have to give this pawn up. Well, that was dumb. But it's still a complete win. I don't know why he took with the rook. Okay, this is still easy. Alright, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. I don't know why he took with the rook. That was kind of silly. But it doesn't matter. But shouldn't he take with... I was losing my calculating ability towards the end there, I think. I mean, this is still, like, completely winning. I must assume, but... Because yeah, even just this probably is gonna win rather quickly. Well, it's not as winning as I thought. Can't I... What's wrong with this? Rook c8, yeah. And then... c7? Oh, and then he's gonna move his king, right. Oh yeah, so I might have really messed up if he had done that. Oh, but rook b8 right away. Oh, I missed that, okay. Yeah, he should have done this. I probably would have missed rook b8. Yeah, black didn't play it perfectly. Probably lucky for me. Alright, let's see what happened in this game. I think I played pretty well. I mean, I don't think I made any big mistakes. I sort of let things... I mean, obviously I didn't play great there at the end, but at least I recognized I was about to get mated. And let's see. The E takes versus C takes thing, I'm relatively certain I made the wrong decision. So, yeah. Yeah, Marinda, I mean, that's the thing about chess is, like, you can play great for 50 moves, and then if your 51st move is bad, you lose. So it just sucks. I mean, I guess goes largely the same way, especially, you know, the higher you get in the game. Exactly, Muscatel. Okay, so I was actually never behind in the game. That's good. The worst was... Okay, I was minus 0.1 right here if he plays b5, which I thought just lost a pawn. Oh, but he's gonna have some tricks. Yeah. So b5, I assumed take. Okay, let's turn off the engine for a second so my computer will work. Take. Knight takes. And it looks like I'm winning a pawn, but I think he has rook takes, queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes, and then bishop takes. So he's getting his pawn back because this queen's actually overworked defending the rook and the bishop. So he's actually trading a flank pawn for a center pawn. On the other hand, at the end of that line, I have two passed pawns here on the queen side. So... But he's got a passed pawn in the center, so... I don't know. That's an interesting position. Ah, that's a good point, Marinda. I guess the idea is, like, any mistake you make after the last real mistake doesn't really count because you're already lost. Okay, so let me quickly look at the opening and see. Oh yeah, because this was a King's Indian. Feels so long ago. Gotta remember what happened in this game. So we had a King's Indian. Go, computer. If you can. Okay, this is the main line until now. And then I think it was here, yeah, he surprised me with bishop g4, which is totally not a move at all. Let's see, where's bishop g4? Okay, there it is, I'm sorry. It's the fourth most common move. So I didn't see it at first. So it's a deep sideline, but I guess there is some established theory behind it. Let's see if castling was correct. Bishop e3. So these were the two moves I debated. And it looks like white is actually scoring much better after just bishop e3. Maybe the idea is that maybe white's not going to need to castle. Maybe white's going to develop an attack so quickly that you don't need to spend the tempo to castle. So I played it a little more safe, which probably makes his move a little more okay. And now c5. Okay, so we're getting even more into sidelines here. This sort of transposes back to other games, though. So c5, it says I should play d5. I didn't think I wanted that. I didn't think I wanted to open this diagonal unless it was going to be to trade off the bishops. Yeah, I definitely want to check out the C versus E pawn moment. Huh, that's cool. We're following a Spassky Karpov game from 1974. That's pretty cool. Okay, bishop e3, not the most common move, and not what Spassky played. Okay, so we're just about out of any theory here. Okay, we're transposing back into some theory. Still wants me to play d5. Never really occurred to me, I mean... I don't know. Kevin Spraggett, he was on there. I know the name Kevin Spraggett. Oh, he's like a Canadian GM, right? Or maybe not a GM. He's like the top player in Canada. He's probably a GM then. Or I'm thinking of somebody else. But I think he's a Canadian. Used to be top player in Canada, okay. I guess now it's like, you know, what's his face? Eric Hansen? It's probably not, I'm joking. Got into a dispute and immigrated to Portugal, wow. d5, e6. I don't know, yeah, it just felt wrong to do this and let this bishop sort of come to life. But I guess the point is, it's also kind of wrong to let him trade the c pawn for the d pawn, trade a flank pawn for a central pawn. So I can believe all that. Oh, and I forgot h3 just like won me the bishop pair immediately, so doesn't seem too bad, right? But I mean, he's got some compensation. Doesn't like b3. Wants bishop e2. Yeah, I mean, I guess bishop e2. Okay, well, he needs to play b5 to punish it, and luckily he didn't find that. So now I just have a nice game. And basically everything was good from here. Okay, I do want to find that c takes e moment. C takes e takes. I'm guessing it's here. Yep. So e takes was inaccurate. C takes was the better move. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know, for some reason I was thinking, I don't want to trade rooks. He wants to trade rooks, but that's just totally wrong. I do want to trade rooks, and this forces the trade of rooks. Because knight c5, b4. So, yeah, this was kind of silly, I guess. But, I mean, not a huge mistake, it just makes it a little more difficult for me. And then, the other big moments, let's see. Ah, it does want to trade bishops here. I thought about trading bishops. I mean, it's the same thing, right? I'm in an endgame, I'm better, I'm queening, just get rid of some pieces. Yeah. So it seems like that's the theme of this endgame. Oh man, I thought about king f1, it just looked a little crazy. But I guess it's less likely for me to get mated than if I go into this corner. So that makes sense too. Yeah, no, f4. I was thinking, like, when I saw this, for some reason, I was like, f4, I'll just take it, and then... Okay, it wasn't here, it was here. I was like, okay, if he plays f4, I'm just gonna take it, because... then I can... Or, wait, not here. 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 Here! I was like, if he plays f4, I'll take it, his bishop's distracted, and then I queen. And I just forgot that if I take it, he plays bishop takes f4 with check, and his bishop goes right back. So that was a stupid plan, but luckily everything was winning at this point. Go to that c5 move instead of rook e1. Yeah, I liked the line that you gave. I just wasn't 100% sure if that was best play for black. So let's see. Let's see what the computer says. Rook e1 just looks so natural, right? Haha. Top 2 moves from the computer. Okay, think more, computer, because it's really close right now. Yeah, it seems like the more it thinks, the more it likes c5. Okay, so let's see how that plays out. c5, bishop d4 makes sense. Bishop g3. I thought if I ever played bishop g3... Ah, now it likes rook e1 better. Oh wait, no, I'm mousing over rook e1. I thought if I ever played bishop g3, he had this f4 idea to distract the bishop. Yeah, there is a think more button. Okay, I mean, both moves completely win. So we're splitting hairs a bit, but... yeah. I want to know why this doesn't work. Do I just take it? And it says, who cares? Oh, you know what's nice about this? Is maybe I'll get my bishop to h6 and threaten some back rank mates. Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't even take the pawn. Interesting. I mean, at this point, everything's winning, so the computer's gonna play some weird stuff. Okay, well, that was a fun game. Nice to get a win. I'm back to 2050 in Classical, so that's good.